Connor Reed, a Class 5 electric, tries to make a living as a day laborer while applying for better jobs. After one interview, he goes to a construction site to ask for work. The foreman lets him stay for half a day. Soon, police arrive to check that no one is using powers. They order the workers to look at the sky so a drone can scan them. Powered workers are told to leave unless they have a permit. During the inspection, police find out one worker has a warrant. When they try to arrest him, he uses fire powers to escape. But the Guardians kill him. In another part of the city, police raid an apartment. The powered suspect, a Class 4 Brawn, disables a Guardian but is stopped by Officer Park. Inside, police find several powered people being drained for spinal fluid and bags of psych tied to a crime boss named Marcus Sutcliffe. Connor later visits his mom, Mary, at her grocery job. She is a cryokinetic who struggles to control her powers because of a brain tumor. She accidentally freezes food and her boss yells at her. Connor stands up for her, almost using his own powers. The boss fires them both. On the way home, Connor tells Mary to start chemo, but she says they can't afford it. The next day, Connor waits for work on the street. He sees a van from Lincoln Power, a group tied to Sutcliffe. His friend Travis warns him to stay away. The driver, Garrett, says he needs an electric of Class 2 or higher. Connor asks for $200 up front. Garrett agrees and takes him to a chemical plant with his crew, which includes Freddy, a mute brawn, and Maddie, a pyro. Connor disables an electric fence, and Maddie melts a lock so they can enter. They steal barrels of chemicals, but a guard sees them. Garrett uses telekinesis to stop him from calling backup, and the guard backs off. Police soon receive an alert about a break-in and are told to watch for a red van. Connor asks Garrett to pay him and let him leave, but Garrett says the job isn't done. They drive under a bridge, remove the Lincoln Power logo, and reveal the van's real white paint job. Garrett drops Connor off, pays him an extra $300, and tells him to return the next day if he wants more work. He tells Connor not to waste his talent. At home, Connor tells Mary he tried to get her grocery job back. He calls her boss a jerk, but Mary says they still need the income. At the club, Nia tells Sutcliffe she's out of psych. He shows her a vial but says she has to earn it first. Meanwhile, Officers Park and Davis investigate the Jones chemical robbery. Park figures 200 gallons of chemicals were stolen to dilute psych. Davis notes that an electric shorted the fence and a pyro melted the lock. Park orders a list of electrics with that level of power. The next day, Travis warns Connor not to get too involved with Sutcliffe's crew. A foreman arrives looking for 2 electrics, but when Connor sees Garrett's car, he chooses to go with him instead. Garrett asks why he's working with criminals instead of finding a real job. Connor admits he needs money for his mom's treatment. To test him, Garrett has Connor short out a car alarm outside a diner. Connor asks what the payoff will be, and Garrett promises $25,000 for the next heist. Connor disables the alarm. During their talk, Garrett learns Connor's father, also an electric, was shot during a robbery. He assumes Mary raised Connor to suppress his powers to avoid the same fate. Garrett starts training him. Connor practices by trying to keep a light bulb lit without breaking it. He fails at first but improves with practice. Garrett hardens him by sending him to collect payments from dealers. Connor also faces another electric who refuses to pay. The man shocks him, but Connor absorbs it and knocks him down with a stronger jolt. Garrett tells him to stop holding back and be ruthless. One night, Connor confronts Dave at the grocery store and threatens him. Later, he tells Mary he got a permanent job. Outside, Officers Park and Davis watch his house. They see he's unemployed and struggling to cover his mom's bills. Park tells Davis to add him to their persons of interest list. The next day, Garrett and Connor scout a bank. They watch security routines, study cameras, and note the vault's location. Connor explains that the vault can't be opened without setting off the alarm. Garrett says the drone's fastest response time is 7 minutes, so they need to be out in 5. At the grocery store, Mary is confused by Dave's behavior. He's suddenly polite and avoids giving her tasks. That night, the crew breaks into the bank with guns. Connor shorts the power at the vault to stop the bank from locking it remotely. When the alarm goes off, They force an employee to open the vault manually. Garrett threatens her while she enters the code, but Connor tries to calm her down. When the vault opens, Garrett is angry to find that most of the cash is already gone. The employee explains the bank cleared it out earlier that day. The gang takes the remaining money and leaves. Outside, drones are waiting. Connor hits them with a surge, sending them and the Guardians crashing to the ground. They return to Sutcliffe's club with only $50,000. While Garrett and Sutcliffe argue about the trust, Copperhead appears and shoots at Sutcliffe. Rhino blocks the bullets with his body, so Copperhead turns her gun on Nia. Connor blasts the weapon from her hand, but she attacks him with a knife. Rhino shoots her and finishes her off with several more shots. Later, Connor finds Nia using psych. She tells him it's not the first time someone has tried to kill her. She heals the cut on his arm and explains that she's targeted because of her powers. When Connor asks why she keeps helping Sutcliffe, she says it's because she owes him. At home, Mary confronts Connor about the money in his drawer. He says it's from overtime, but she already called the company and knows he lied. He admits he turned to crime to make money for her treatment. Suddenly, Mary loses control of her powers and collapses. At the hospital, the doctor explains that her tumor is pressing on her brain and surgery is needed immediately, but Connor cannot afford it. Outside, Park and Davis approach Connor and bring him to the station. Park questions him about the chemical plant and bank jobs, but Connor denies involvement. Park warns him that Sutcliffe is dangerous and says they will soon burn $4 million worth of psych. He offers to help Connor's mother if Connor gives information. Davis mocks Connor and insults his father. Connor gets angry and tells them to check the security footage. Park lets him go, saying there isn't enough evidence. Davis suggests planting evidence, but Park refuses. After leaving, Garrett picks Connor up. Connor says he didn't tell the police anything and asks to see Sutcliffe. At the garage, Sutcliffe reads his mind and confirms it. Connor suggests intercepting the police when they transport $10 million worth of psych. He makes a deal with Sutcliffe. If it works, he wants Nia so she can heal his mom. Sutcliffe realizes Connor's plan but agrees. Nia gets upset and leaves. Garrett also makes a deal, asking Sutcliffe to treat him as a partner instead of crew. Sutcliffe agrees. During planning, Connor insists that no officer should be killed. Later, he promises Nia that he will let her go once she saves his mother. Nia tells Garrett that he only cares about her because she's a healer. On the day of the heist, the crew sets up roadblocks and waits for the armored van. Drones follow it, but stop once it enters a no-fly zone. The driver takes a detour when he sees the roadblock. Maddie and Freddie trail the van in one car while Garrett blocks it with a garbage truck. As the driver yells at him, Garrett stalls for time so Connor can charge up. Connor hits the van with a surge, shutting down the Guardians. Garrett uses telekinesis to hold them, while Connor, Maddie, and Freddie disable the rest. Maddie burns a hole into the van, and Freddie drops in tear gas. The guards inside cough and exit. A drone flies into the no-fly zone anyway. Maddie takes the psych cases from the guards and hands them to Rhino. The guards beg for mercy, but Rhino's men shoot them. Rhino then shoots Maddie in the back. Garrett pulls Freddie away with telekinesis as Rhino and his men open fire. Rhino escapes, leaving 2 men behind to fight. More Guardians arrive, killing Rhino's men while Garrett, Connor, and Freddie run. Freddie realizes he's been shot, so Garrett carries him to a car. Rhino delivers the psych to Sutcliffe. Nia asks where the others are, but Sutcliffe ignores her and gives her a vial. He says she can't leave because her father still owes him money. When Connor learns Freddie died, he blames Garrett, saying Sutcliffe betrayed them because of Garrett's demands. At the police station, Davis tells the chief that Connor is a suspect in the heist. Park disagrees, saying Connor is just being used and isn't the type to kill cops. Connor visits his mom in the hospital and promises to find treatment for her. Mary tells him to stop and let her go. Meanwhile, Park visits his ex-wife and daughter Lena. Lena says other kids fear her because she uses her powers to move objects. She worries her parents will give her away, like kids on the news. Park comforts her. Travis approaches Park and gives him a message from Connor. They meet at a diner. Connor says it's too late for a deal but promises to turn himself in after helping catch Sutcliffe. At the station, the police prepare to move out and arrest Sutcliffe. At the bar, Sutcliffe starts coughing and calls Nia to heal him. As she treats him, police cut the power and open fire. Sutcliffe escapes with Nia and Rhino through a passage to the garage. There, Garrett shoots Sutcliffe in the chest. Rhino fires back, but Garrett uses telekinesis to knock his gun away. Garrett shoots Rhino several times, but Rhino still charges. Garrett slows him with telekinesis, and Connor arrives to blast him with electricity. Sutcliffe points a gun at Nia, demanding help. Rhino grabs Connor and slams him down. Connor shocks him, but it's not enough. As Rhino strangles Connor, Garrett stabs him in the eye with a metal tool. Connor finishes Rhino by sending electricity through his head. Nia goes to Sutcliffe but takes his gun instead of healing him. Garrett strangles Sutcliffe with telekinesis and takes the gun away. Connor tells Nia she'll be free if she heals his mom. Garrett gives Connor Sutcliffe's gun, telling him to do what's needed. Nia warns Connor that healing his mom could kill her, since she's already weakened from healing him. Despite this, Connor takes Nia to the hospital. She begins to heal Mary, but Connor stops her when he sees she's in pain. Mary wakes up, and Connor holds her hand as she passes away. Park and Davis later find Sutcliffe's body in the garage. Connor brings Nia to the station and turns himself in. He tells her the truck has gas to take her wherever she wants. After the heist, lawmakers proposed banning all use of powers in Lincoln City because 4 police officers were killed. Park and Davis receive awards for bravery. Garrett meets Cumbo and pays him double what Sutcliffe owed. Connor visits his mother's grave, telling her he won't be back for a while. Nia visits her father in prison, smiling as she looks forward to a new life free from Sutcliffe.